friends, I'm Angel Bhalerao. I'm studying in Podda International School in class 8. Today, we are going to see a detailed explanation of an English lesson. The name of the lesson is The Convict. But before watching this video in detail, don't forget to subscribe my channel. So let's start. The Convict. My father's family name being Pirip and my Christian name Philip. My infant tongue could make of both names nothing longer more explicit than Pip. So I called myself Pip and came to be called as Pip. As I had never seen my father or my mother and never saw any likeness of either of them, for their days were long before the days of photograph. My first fancy regarding what they were like were unreasonably derived from their tombstones. The shape of the letters on my father's gave me an odd idea that he was a square, stout, dark man with curly black hair. From the character and tone of this inscription, also Georgiana, wife of the above, I drew a childish conclusion that my mother was freckled and sickly. Ours was the marsh country, down by the river within 20 miles of the sea. One memorable raw afternoon towards evening near the graveyard, "Hold your noise," cried a terrible voice, as a man showed up from among the graves at the side of the church porch. "Keep still, you kid! What are you doing here?" He was a fearful man, all in coarse grey with a great iron on his leg, a man with no hat and with broken shoes and with an old rag tied around his head, a man who had been soaked in water and smothered in mud and lamed by stones and cut by flints and stung by nettles and torn by barriers, who limped and shirked and glared and growled, and whose teeth chattered in his head as he held me by my arms. "Tell us your name," said the man. "Quick!" "Pip, sir," I replied. "Once more," said the man, staring at me, said, "Give it mouth." "Pip, Pip, sir." "Show us where you live," said the man. "Point out the place." I pointed to where our village lay, on the flat inshore among the elder trees and pollards, a mile or more from the church. The man, after looking at me for a moment, turned me upside down and emptied my pockets. There was nothing in them but a piece of bread. I was seated on the high tombstone, trembling, while he ate the bread ravenously. I held tighter to the tombstone on which he had put me, partly to make myself upon it, partly to keep myself from crying. "Now look here," said the man. "Where's your mother?" "There, sir," said I, pointing to my mother's grave. He started, made a short run, and stopped and looked over his shoulder. "Also Georgiana, that's my mother." "Oh," said he, coming back. "And is that your father along with your mother?" "Yes, sir," I said. "Ha," he muttered, then, considering, "Whom do you live with?" "My sister, sir, Mrs. Joe Gargery, wife of Joe Gargery, the blacksmith, sir." "Blacksmith, eh?" said he, and looked down at his leg. After darkly looking at his leg and me several times, he came closer, took me by both arms and looked powerfully down at me, and I looked helpless. "Now look here," he said. "You know what a file is?" "Yes, sir." "And you know what a whittle is?" "Yes, sir." "You get me a file and you get me whittles. You bring them both to me." He tilted me again, "or I'll have you here with me forever." I was dreadfully frightened and so giddy that I clung to him with both hands and said, "If you will kindly please let me free." Then he held me by the arms and went on in these fearful terms, "You bring me tomorrow morning early that file and the victuals. You bring the lot to me at that old battery over yonder. You do it, and you never dare to say a word or dare to make a sign concerning your having seen such a person as me or any person anywhere, and you shall be free. You fail," he continued, "and then you will have to pay. I ain't alone, as you may think I am. There's a young man hid with me, in comparison with which young man I am an angel. It is in vain for a boy to attempt to hide himself from that young man. A boy may lock his door, may be warm in bed, may tuck himself up, may draw the clothes over his head, may think himself comfortable and safe, but that young man will softly creep his way to him. Now, what do you say?" I said that I will get him the file and I will get him what broken bits of food I could, and I will come to him at the battery early in the morning. Good night, sir," I flattered. "Much of that," said he, glancing about him over the cold, wet flat. "I wish I was a frog or an eel." At the same time, he hugged his shuddering body in both his arms, collapsing himself as if to hold himself together, and limped towards the low church wall. As I saw him going, picking his way among the nettles and among the brambles that bound the green mounds, he looked in my young eyes as if he were eluding the hands of the dead people stretching up cautiously out of their grave. When he came to the low church wall, he got over it and then turned around to look for me. When I saw him turning, I set my face towards home and made the best use of my legs. Okay friends, I hope you like this video. If you like this video, please hit the like button, share with your friends, and if you have any suggestions for me, please write in the comment box. Bye. Have a good day. Thanks for watching my video.